No.
It's not at the bottom.
Well, it might be, but it hasn't flipped.
It hasn't. Because the magnetic north can sometimes flip and be south for a while.
What we do know is that it drifts, the magnetic pole, it drifts.
Oh, well, then her feeling up the things.
Well, unless she's completely in the wrong part of the globe. You are right about drifting and flipping, but we are not talking about that.
I think it's slightly off north, the top of the globe, as it were.
No, is the answer.
Slightly off the bottom?
Can we have it back?
So it has flipped.
No, it's that we refer to it as the wrong thing. So if you think about it, the Earth is basically one big magnet, and that is why compasses work. So a compass is another magnet, and the Earth and the compasses are attracted to each other. Okay, let us imagine that you have got two magnets. I've got them marked here. So I've got two magnets marked north and south. Okay, if I take the north bit of this magnet, which bit of the magnet...
Just worry because your kitchen cupboards are all flopping around now.
Which bit of the magnet is it going to be attracted to?
The opposite.
It's going to be south. It's going to be like that, so that the north is attracted to the south, right? It's the opposite ends of the magnet which attract each other. So, if you've got the north end of a compass, which is a magnet, which end of another magnet will it point to?
Oh, it's gone in the rubbish tip! We'll find that in a million years.
You just threw the world in the bin.
Okay. So, just to finish, compasses are magnets. Their north end points to the Arctic, so therefore, even though we call that end the North Pole, it must be the magnetic South Pole.
Oh, I get it, yeah.
The very first person to realise that the Earth had a magnetic field was Elizabeth I's physician, a guy called William Gilbert. He was a 16th century scientist, and at the time people believed that magnets had souls. He called it an astromagnetic mind. For him, it explained why the Earth rotated. So the Earth got too hot when she was in the sun, and then she needed to cool down, and so she rotated. But it's to do with a bit like a sunbather turning over when they're too hot.
Or a doner kebab.
Or a doner kebab, exactly that. When we talk about explorers like Scott and Amazon going to the poles, they of course depended on the Earth's magnetic field in order to navigate.
Amazon delivers all the way to the North Pole.
Amundsen.
Oh, Amundsen.
But yeah, they would.
Roald Amundsen, the Norwegian. Well, he rather famously beat Scott to the South Pole.
Oh, right, yes, I did know
But
that.
he was supposed to be going to the North Pole at the time.
Right.
It was in 1909, and news reached him that the American Robert Peary had reached the North Pole, and all of his funding and the loan of his ship was all tied to him going to the North Pole, but he didn't want to be second. So while he was at sea, he turned the ship around and sailed south, and what I like is he didn't tell the crew his plan for over a month. And nobody seemed to notice that they were heading in the wrong direction. And when they started getting suspicious, he said he was just taking a detour on the way to the North Pole. But he did become the very first person to get to the South Pole. Right, a question on a different sort of attraction, the romantic kind. What Danish trick gets English pulses racing? This is a long time ago. So, who were the Danes that first came to the UK?
Invaders.
Vikings. Okay, so we're talking 11th century. And they seduced English women using the power of cleanliness.
No.
Yes.
So, they washed.
They washed.
The great washed met the great unwashed.
Yeah, so when they came and, they invaded and established the Dane law, they tended to come without women. They married English women, and this upset the locals very much. But according to a monk called John of Wallingford, the Danes cheated by washing. This is a new idea. The Danes made themselves too acceptable to English women by their elegant manners and their care of their person. They combed their hair daily and took a bath every Saturday, and even changed their clothes frequently, by which means they undermined the chastity of the wives, which is a totally different story to all the rape and pillage thing.
Yes.
Yeah, no. So there is a theory that all of that was written down by Englishmen who'd had their wives taken, that it was rape and pillage, and there is another theory that in fact they turned up unbelievably good looking. They just rowed across the North Sea.
Had a bath and went on the pool.
Yeah. That guy, I mean, he could pull me.
Right, serviceman, you're going, what's that stuff you use?
That was a very little gesture. I would service the man. You would almost imperceptibly service the man.
Just a little bit under the arms, please. Come on, Jack. Sure and sure alike.
But they did wash, and sort of secret weapon. So there are some experts who suggest that we're not much better than the Vikings, really, in our washing habits. They did a study in 2018. It was the US Center for Hygiene and Health in Boston. They claimed that modern-day bathtubs, I don't know whether you guys are bathers or showerers, 100 times as much bacteria in a normal bath as in a rubbish bin. Apparently, they recommend if you are going to take a bath,
Do it in a rubbish bin.
well, that, or shower before and after.
I've had a water meter fitted, so I just swim it canal.
What did you just say?
He's had a
I've
water
had a water
meter
meter
fitted,
fitted,
so now he just swims in the canal.
I'm from Guildford, so I was
Why might a bath be good for you, even if it's full of bacteria?
I think you get lighter in it and it takes stress off your joints, and it's almost like being in space but for a shorter period.
It improves your circulation and it lowers your blood pressure, which is what you were trying to say, isn't it, Johnny?
No, I was trying to say it's like being in space, but thank you, Sandy.
Well, this is good news for anybody who doesn't like exercise. They've done studies, and people with depression, it lifts your mood, a bath, more than physical exercise.
As long as you don't put a toaster in there too.
Yeah, don't do that. Now, can you get these cans that you have beside you ready for recycling, please? Get them ready to put them in the recycling. What would you do?
I would
Crushing
normally
your-
crush mine.
Okay, go ahead.
We were told years ago by Eddie Izzard to crush them. There were specific machines to crush them.
Yeah,
So since then, there are newer machines which have become more automated. So they use the size and the shape of the object in order to identify them. So if you crush the can, it might not realise what it is, and it might put it in the non-recycling pile.
I don't think a lot of people know that.
We're like an information service.
It really annoys me when recycling thing says not currently recyclable, as though it's like we wish it was, but the science hasn't kept up.
Too much for it.
It's not our fault.
And also the thing is, all of the recycling facilities vary throughout the country. So you do actually have to check with your borough. The one where we are currently recording, had we crushed them, we couldn't recycle them. It just really depends on what the item is. So for example, I have here paper. This is receipt for the cans that we got. So which bin should these go in?
I mean, I recycle it.
Cardboard.
The shiny paper doesn't go in, and magazines, that doesn't go in
Why?
paper because it's got the coating.
Yeah, about half of all receipts are non-recyclable.
But that's bonkers. Like, that's a
People
responsibility.
don't know this though as well.
Yeah, but I think there should be like, these are the 25 things we recycle, and these are the things we don't recycle. Is this, and if things like half one thing and half the other, and I don't know. It's not that I want to give up, but I just feel like they're making it very difficult.
It is very complicated. These are printed on thermal paper. It's the stuff you used to get in the early fax machines. So it's coated in a kind of chemical, and they cannot be recycled because you will release the chemical into the atmosphere. It's actually sort of weird stuff. So it works by the printing on it turns black when it's exposed to heat. That's the way it works. So it only heats up the parts that are written on. If you take
Sandy, you haven't asked if it's going anywhere nice on its holidays.
No, that I should be. Sorry. There you can see that it goes completely black. It's the chemicals that are doing that. So don't recycle those.
But if you are struggling with your recycling, you're not sure, put it in your neighbours, let them sort it out.
Time for a last rummage around the bottom of the bag for the sniff of bin juice that we call general ignorance. Fingers on buzzers, please. Name the last commercial flight to fly faster than the speed of sound.
Is it Concorde?
So officially, Concorde is the only supersonic commercial service that ever existed, but several flights have since then flown faster than the speed of sound. On average, a flight from New York to London takes 6 hours. It's 3,500 nautical miles. But you get this jet stream that pushes you along. So under normal conditions, the speed of sound is 760 miles per hour, but it doesn't cause a sonic boom because
Couldn't afford it.
no, relative to the air that you are moving in, you are travelling under the speed of sound. But if you're on a plane that's being pushed by the jet stream, you are travelling, according to your speed across the ground, faster than the speed of sound. It's rather like a man on a train running. So the man on the train appears to the rest of us to maybe be doing 100 miles an hour. In fact, he's just running at a perfectly normal speed. Alan, you've been on the Concorde, haven't you?
I have been on the Concorde.
Yeah.
You look a bit like a Concorde.
Do you?
In profile.
Well,
What?
It's a compliment.
Yeah. I didn't say you look like a Virgin Pendolino. I said you look like a great piece of
Rude
engineering.
from Despicable Me film.
New York to London, the fastest BA Concorde flight, 1996, 2 hours, 52 minutes and 59 seconds. It hit a top speed of 1,350.
I used to fly over. I used to play cricket in Wandsworth, and they flew over Wandsworth Common, and it was loud, but they weren't allowed to really turn the engines on until they cleared Cornwall.
Why do you think it's spelled with an E, which is the French version?
Is it because it was a medieval plane?
What?
Like oldie England?
Oldie England? No.
The oldie plane.
The oldie Concordie.
The argument about whether to spell Concorde with an E caused an absolute nationalist uproar in Britain, which rather pre-echoed the Brexit convulsions. 50 years ago.
Surprised.
I know that people thought
Concorde mean in English?
it's it's peace. It's a sort of.
Oh, Concorde. Well, I thought that was a French word anyway.
Concorde.
It is a French word. It's spelt it without an E in English, but it's the way in which we spell it caused trouble. The Tory government in 1962, when they made the first agreement, said we'll spell it Concorde without an E, and then Tony Benn came in 1967 into government, and he said, oh, who cares? We'll spell it with an E. But it caused an absolute uproar. Right, look around you and point to a symbol you can see on the set that tells you can recycle something. Alan, pick one.
The one right in the middle of the
circle.
So that's a very common symbol, the interlocking two green arrows. It doesn't mean packaging can be recycled, or even it has ever been part of the recycling process. It means the manufacturer has made a financial contribution to recovery and recycling of packaging in Europe.